Welcome to this week's video. I'm Captain John Bushy. This week, instead of doing a captain's call, we decided we needed to have the major commanders get together and talk a little bit about some concerning issues we have on the base. So with that, I'd like to introduce, or have all the members of our panel introduce themselves today. And Keg, how about you like to kick off today?
Certainly. Captain John Enfield, Commander Carrier Air Wing 5.
Master Chief Todd Wendy, Carrier Wing 5 CMC.
Master Chief Michael Wilkins, Base Command Master Chief.
Captain Rich Press, Commander Task Force 72, Fleet Air Forward.
Master Chief Dizon, CFAC.
So lately we've seen an uptick in the number of reportable instances that we've had with personal and professional behavior. Just wanted to let our audience know that since Thanksgiving we've had a large spike in our sexual assaults, our domestic violence issues, sailor and Marine Corps member who were reported in Roppongi and busted for buying some drugs, a serious vehicle accident that we had out in town, multiple alcohol-related instances, and curfew violations, as well as several assaults. And I find that extremely concerning within our community, because our community is a very tight-knit, very close community. We work very closely together. We all live and work in a very tight area, and we have a very strong sense of community. And so that's why I invited our major commanders and the master chiefs together to talk about this, because I think it's extremely concerning and something that we need to address, not just from us. We're trying to show unity and community here, but also with our community, so that you know that this is something that I need your assistance with, we need your assistance with. It can't just be us policing and saying, don't do this, but this is something that I think we all need to take on board as trying to make good, proactive decisions and trying to foster the type of community that we want to have for our kids, for our sailors, for our spouses to live in. So with that, I'd like to open it to discussion with anybody wanting to pipe up and comment.
Skipper, if I could, I think and at the risk of sounding like a broken record for the sailors who've heard this over and over again, but maybe your families haven't, an element in a lot of these incidents has been a failure for shipmates to step in and help their shipmates. So we hear bystander intervention a lot, but if we're actually living it and we actually believe it, I think in a lot of these incidents there's probably somebody there who could have stepped in and diffused the situation or got somebody out of it. At least when we talk about the sexual assaults or the actual assaults, even the driving incident that we had, there probably was somebody there who could have stopped something bad from happening. And then the other ones, I think it's important that we continue to get the word out that the base, that Atsugi does an awesome job of providing services for sailors in need. And that, when it comes to domestic violence, the suicidal behaviors, that the chaplains, the Fleet and Family Service resources are there. You just need to reach out, and there's no judgment, and nobody knows, just take care of yourself and reach out for those services. And they're there, they're awesome, the base does a great job providing. We just need to take advantage of that and help ourselves before something starts to go south.
Right. I think that's a great point, because the base does have all kinds of services. We provide a lot of information on our Fleet and Family Support Facebook page, as well as on the Facebook page that we have for Atsugi. So you can always Google those and find out. You can always call downstairs and see what they have for you. But we have a ton of resources. Not to forget also just talking to chain of command, talking also to your mentor, talking to your friends, talking to your families. Be that good battle buddy, be that good liberty buddy, and the bystander intervention is extremely important. Mm-hmm. So great points.
Yes, sir. And on that note, CAG brought up a great resource in the chaplain. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that the chaplain is just here for their religious needs, and that is not the case. The chaplain, they have clinical counseling experience, and they will provide counseling services in a non-religious manner. Mm-hmm. So don't overlook a valuable resource.
Yeah.
And as the chain of command, I'll tell you, when you go see the chaplain, it's 100% confidential. It stays with the chaplain. They won't come and tell me or Commodore Press or the base CO what they talked about. It's just between you and the chaplain. So it's a great resource because it is totally confidential. They can help you out, and if you have a problem that they can't solve, they have access to all the resources to get you the help you need.
And to build on that point, CAG, one of the chaplains stopped by task force yesterday, introduced himself, had a great office call with him, and he was over not just to meet me, but to go through the spaces and interact quietly with the sailors and get his finger on the pulse for whatever problems may be there. And as you said, CAG, that's confidential. He's not running up to the office to tell me about that. So when the chaplain comes by to visit, if you want to talk to him, do so, and understand that it's confidential. That's a powerful resource to help you manage whatever problems you may be having.
I think one of the important pieces too that we're all hitting on is that the first thing that you need to do is make a good decision. You have to take a proactive step to help yourself. I always tell my sailors that before you go take an action, write that report in your mind. How would that sit rep come out? How would it be if you were standing in front of your chief explaining yourself? How would you be telling this to your active duty spouse? How would you be, as a spouse, telling this to your civilian spouse? Because these incidents that we're talking about are not just limited to our active duty sailors. They include our civilian employees, our civilian dependents, as well as to our children. So this is a community-wide issue that we need to talk about, but I think it really focuses on taking that first step and trying to make a good decision from the beginning so that it's a proactive decision. It's something that will help you out. It's not a decision made in anger, but a decision made with consideration before you decide to do something out in town and possibly injure that relationship or that partnership that we have with our host nation. So I think that the decision making is something extremely important, and the individual has to make that first step to try to make a good decision.
I agree. I used to tell when I was a division officer on the aircraft carrier V2 division, I used to tell my sailors, when you're at that key moment, pause for 1 second, and in that 1 second, think about all your hard work up to that point. Think about your family, your career goals, and then how you may be putting all of that at risk and on the line.
Right.
And perhaps in that 1 second, that pause, you can save making a poor decision.
That's a great point.
And I think one thing that's important to say, sir, is that it's okay not to drink. It's okay to have fun without drinking. As we've noticed, a lot of things happen as a result of alcohol. But responsible use is the main thing, is the key. But it's okay not to get drunk. It's fine. You be the guy, the Liberty Buddy, that takes care of your buddies. That's the main thing. And as CAG said, bystander intervention. We do this training for a reason. We have Petty Officer Do-Right, right? The guy in bystander intervention training that's doing the right thing. As long as you're doing the right thing all the time, you can't go wrong.
So how long have we known each other now? 5 years?
5 years or so.
Right. In that time, have you ever seen me pick up a drink?
No?
No, that's because I don't drink. And, of course, every sailor checks in with me. I talk to them about responsible use of alcohol. I made a decision a long time ago to not drink. I'm perfectly comfortable with being the designated driver or the designated walker in some cases when we're overseas on Liberty. And I've found that I can have just as good a time by sitting there and drinking water, or what everyone who works for me knows my real vice is, Diet Coke, and have just as good a time. And I think that we need to let people know that it's okay, as you say, to not drink, that you can still have fun without getting intoxicated.
There's the Blue Jacket Liberty program. There are unit CSAD programs.
Right.
And on base here, there's so many MWR tours and neat things to do that don't involve alcohol, to your point, Master Chief.
Right.
I think too, if you are, so I'm not like Master Chief Wilkins, I might have a drink or two. But what I try to do when I have a drink is have my plan before I have a drink. And that's, a plan for not driving the next morning, because pretty low limit here in Japan. So, if you've had more than a couple, you're probably not good the next morning either. And then, your plan to get home, and your plan to have a buddy, somebody to look out for you, to keep you from, stepping over the line. And that's really the key. Even if you're not planning on driving, having the designated walker with you,
Right.
if you go out in town, who's not drinking, who's kind of that, sober conscience, can go a long way if they're a good Liberty Buddy and they're a good shipmate, and kind of help diffuse things, keep bad things from happening. But really the secret there is, if you choose to, is have your plan before you start drinking, because once you've had your first drink, then the plan is usually whatever you come up with has probably been influenced by the fact you've been drinking.
Yes. So having a good plan goes a long way, Dad was saying. So a lot of bad decisions come from not having a plan. Along with having a plan, have phone numbers, have phone numbers of your chief, your LPO. I guarantee if you get in trouble while you're out of town, you call those people, either they'll get you themselves or they'll find somebody to come get you. So having those numbers, having those contacts is important when you're out of town. That's part of having a plan when you go out of town.
Well, you know, one last thing I would personally like to touch on is I interact with sailors routinely as part of my job, and I know we all do here as well. I have never come across a sailor who has established a goal for themselves to fail on purpose. I've never come across that. They always have goals for personal growth, professional growth, and they've got to make choices and decisions that support those goals. And if anybody is out there that has ever planned to set themselves up for failure, I would love to talk to you so I could get that mindset, because I've never run across it in all my time in the Navy.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think everybody is supportive here of trying to make sure that our message is consistent, that we're trying to get everybody to make those good decisions, trying to use the resources they have available, trying to make sure that everybody realizes that this is a community issue that we need bystander intervention for. We need to have that good decision making. We need to have the support, and we need to have people having a plan before they get out there and they go do something that's going to possibly cause embarrassment to themselves, to their spouse, to their kids, to their unit, to the base, to our alliance and our partnership that we have here with our host nation. So unless you guys want to pipe anything else up, I think that's the synopsis of it right there, and that we're all asking you to take your part to be a proactive member in our community and try to turn this trend around so that we don't have to keep on focusing on issues that they're major issues because people have not made a good decision and that people haven't used the tools and the resources that are available. So please help us help you so we can get back to flying airplanes, we can get back to doing our business, we can get back to taking care of shipmates and taking care of families the way we're supposed to, instead of being in crisis and reaction mode for some of these things. So unless the panel has anything else.
That's good, Skipper. Thanks.
All right.
Thank
Great.
you.
Again, thank you all very much for coming out. I appreciate the unity and the word that we're trying to put out, and that's all we have this week. Be safe, and thank you.